WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Good evening, everyone. Columbus police say they have a suspect in a weekend shooting.
They are not releasing the suspect's name yet. However, police are waiting on a warrant to make an arrest. That shooting happened Sunday evening near the 6th Street and 5th Avenue South. Police believe the victim and the suspect were in a verbal altercation, and then that escalated to the shooting. The victim, who was airlifted to a hospital, has since been released.
The holidays are over, but police still want to make sure people stay aware of their surroundings. Columbus Police Chief Fred Shelton says if you ever see something that seems out of the ordinary, it's always best to play it safe and go ahead and call police so they can check it out. Shelton says by not reporting a possible crime when it's happening, it could hinder the investigation.
If it's a delay, it's going to delay in us getting there, and the suspect is going to be able to get away. So what we need is a description, a direction of travel, and as soon as it happens, call us. You know, with today's technology, we got cell phones. All you have to do is dial 911, 3 numbers, bam, we're there. And the sooner we get there, the more likely we are able to catch a suspect and be able to solve the crime.
Another reminder, police say don't believe everything you see online. If it's urgent, police will notify the public via their social media sites and through local media.
Well, in the November general election, voters will decide whether Mississippians will be able to use medical marijuana. The medical marijuana 2020 campaign making that announcement today. A spokesperson for the Secretary of State's office says Initiative 65 was filed yesterday. Now, under the guidelines of the proposed law, a physician will have the option to certify the use of medical marijuana for certain medical conditions. The alternative treatment option would be regulated by the State Department of Health. Patients would have to get medical marijuana from a treatment center that MSDH would also regulate in real time. Limits will be placed on the amount a patient may get over a specified period of time.
The holidays are often open season for your favorite foods, and trips to the gym can get lost in the hustle and bustle.
But the rush to get back to the gym to get started on those New Year's resolutions could actually be bad for your heart. Our Stephanie Poole joins us in the studio with more on what this can mean for your health.
Yes, difficulty breathing, dizziness, and chest pain are just a few symptoms. It's called holiday heart syndrome, and it can be fatal, but it is also curable. Every morning, Greg Jones rolls out of his bed, laces up his tennis shoes, and goes for a run.
I do a few arm rolls, just a little stuff to keep myself physically fit.
Jones usually runs a mile 3 times a week, but his time spent jogging turned into nap time over the holidays.
Slacked off some across the holidays, and I'm slow getting back into my routine.
Teresa Prophet is hitting the pavement too.
Just try to do something every day, even if it's just taking the dogs for a short walk or being active in a class.
While Jones and Prophet are in tune with their health, some people aren't as fortunate. Nurse practitioner of Starkville's urgent team, Noel Bondi, says he's treated patients with holiday heart syndrome since December.
People develop cardiac arrhythmias at a greater rate than typically, and it's usually associated with excessive alcohol intake. It can also be affected by stress and overeating.
Bondi says when you don't exercise or eat healthy during the holidays, it can be difficult to perform everyday activities. Sometimes it can lead to a heart attack.
It particularly affects those with pre-existing heart conditions and high blood pressure and high cholesterol, but it can happen to anybody.
Jones says those are just a few reasons why he pays attention to his health.
I've seen so many of my friends and colleagues around me who've, had incidents with their heart and strokes and that kind of stuff, and I can look around and see I don't want to have that stroke, I don't want to leave here because of a heart attack. So.
You don't want to just jump into something full force. You want to start slow and then build up to where you thought you could be.
Bondi says if you're experiencing tightness in your chest or have difficulty breathing after performing everyday activities, please visit your doctor as soon as possible or call 911.
It was a beautiful day out there today. Temperatures this evening are down into the 50s and will quickly fall with a mostly clear sky. We're looking at 40s even in some spots already. The latest from Columbus now has us down to 46, 50 in Jackson, 54 in Memphis. As we look across the region, no rain out there, just a few clouds, but clouds will increase overnight tonight into our Thursday. That's ahead of our piece of energy that is coming in from the Pacific Northwest. That will swing all the way into our region by the time we get into Friday night and on Saturday. That is when we have the chance for more heavy rain as well as the threat for severe weather. Coming up in just a bit, we'll be sure and let you know the latest details on our severe threat. We'll also take a look at Futurecast and have a full look at your 7-day forecast.
Northeast Mississippi Community College gets a big honor from Apple Computers today.
Ellie Martin tells us what it means to staff and students.
Instructors at Northeast Mississippi Community College not only teach students using iPads, but they also spend time in the classroom learning about the latest innovations.
I can have both of these open at the same time.
Several years ago, NEMCC began the One Northeast initiative. Under that program, each student gets an iPad, and many faculty have dropped traditional textbooks and have created their own textbooks, which students can access on those devices. It has helped save students $6 million in textbook costs alone.
We've also seen our student success, and that's the number of A's, B's, and C's in class increase significantly over the last 4 years.
As an English instructor, we use the iPad in almost everything we do. So they are now typing their essays on the iPad. We use apps every day, different apps to edit our papers.
That success and use of technology was highlighted during a celebration announcing NEMCC's designation as an Apple Distinguished School. Saving students money on textbooks and improving academic success rates are all important, but administrators say one of the biggest advantages to the emphasis on technology inside and outside of the classroom is that it better prepares students for the workforce in 2020 and beyond.
At the end of the day, our students must be able to function on a global society, in a global society, in a global economy. And that's our job as instructors and as institutions of higher learning to make sure that they're able to do that.
NEMCC is one of only 8 Apple Distinguished Schools in the world this year, and the only one in Mississippi. In Boonville, Allie Martin, WCBI News.
NEMCC was invited by Apple to apply for the Distinguished School Award.
You may have the image of college students living off a steady diet of pizza, but many are having a hard time putting food on the table.
We take a look at what one university is doing to help.
You're watching WCBI News at 6 with Andrea Self and Joey Barnes.
Welcome back, everyone. Well, as you know, college students have a lot on their plates. They have to keep their grades up, hold down a job, and oftentimes navigate a very strict budget.
Very strict. While their figurative plates may be full, their dinner plates, they can sometimes be empty. Food insecurity is a growing concern on college campuses where students are everywhere. Our Cash Matlock joins us live in the studio with more on this story.
Well, recent research from Temple University shows that almost 36% of college students don't have enough to eat. Folks at Mississippi State University are working to lower that number.
Bully's Closet and Pantry is a new program on MSU's campus. Its purpose, to provide students with a healthy and balanced meal.
The ability to be in the classroom and focus on your professor, whether they're teaching Latin or they're teaching French or even biology too, can be extremely difficult if you haven't had a proper meal.
Students can visit the pantry once a week to load up on groceries, hygiene items, and even professional clothing.
For example, a student could come on Fridays so they would have enough food to get through the weekend, and then they could come back on Monday or Tuesday, so they would have food for the next week. So
the pantry is funded through donations from the public as well as various MSU departments.
We'll also be having eggs from the poultry science program. We'll have milk from our dairy. We'll have baked goods from our bakery on campus.
Departments that can't offer food extend their hand in other ways.
We're going to be having recipe books that are made by a dietitian, and so those books will be able for students to make meals that are nutritious, healthy, and good for them by using the items here in the pantry. We are going to have some cooking classes as well, so we are working with our partners Airmark as well as our dietitian on campus through the Longest Health Center to provide cooking classes for our students who want to come by and see how to make a meal with limited items, limited resources.
But asking for help isn't always easy. We spoke with a few students who say it's all about changing people's mindset.
I feel like at first that it may be a little difficult for students to start going, but I think that the more that people talk about it and the more that we say, like, you know, if you need help, that it's okay to ask for help, then I think that it'll be okay and that students will feel more comfortable going.
I would say go for it and take advantage of all the opportunities because, I mean, it's there for a reason and people are donating.
We want to destigmatize this idea that people have everything they need all the time, because we just know that's not true.
Bully's Closet and Pantry will officially open Friday, January 10th, with a ribbon cutting at 10 a.m.
An important story there, and also weather becoming an important story this
Everybody's
week.
talking about it.
It is. It's something we've been talking about for a while, and as we get closer, we're understanding more about what this system will do. We expect a line of severe thunderstorms to approach us late Friday night into Saturday. We're going to have a full breakdown on what we expect, as well as a look at our 7-day forecast coming up right after this.
Your WCBI First Alert AccuWeather forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
We had quite a beautiful day today. Lots of sunshine, temperatures nice and mild, and light winds. About a perfect day for this time of year. Unfortunately, things are changing starting tonight into tomorrow. We still have a mostly clear sky out there with light winds generally under 7 miles an hour, and temperatures are falling fairly quickly. Already some spots down into the 40s. All of us will be into the 40s by 7 o'clock tonight. I think we bottom out into the upper 30s and low 40s with south and east winds between 3 and 8 miles an hour. Clouds will begin to increase after midnight across the area, but overall we'll continue to watch for that here moving forward. As we look at our temperatures tonight, we'll be dropping down into the upper 30s and even low 40s in a few spots. Something that we'll be noticing here is those clouds increasing, especially as we head into our day on Thursday. Notice how those clouds continue to increase here with the chance for some showers after the sunset. That will be into Thursday night. Ahead of that, though, south and east winds will be between 5 and 15 miles an hour, gusts as high as 25. We are mild tomorrow as well, back into the 60s, upper 60s to the south, lower 60s to the north. No rain, though, until after sunset as our system begins to approach. It is still a long ways off here, about 2,300 miles. So as it comes ashore here tonight, that will give us some more data on what exactly will pan out as we head into Friday night and Saturday. I think for the most part, Futurecast has a great idea of the big picture look at things here. We're still just a little far to get the finite details, but notice here as we head through Thursday, the clouds will increase, showers and storms will build off to our west then on the day Friday. And that's something that we notice here Friday afternoon. Notice these showers and storms across Oklahoma and Texas. Those storms will be the source of our severe weather, I think, early Saturday morning into Saturday, perhaps midday or so. And that's what we have to watch here moving forward. Now, on Friday, a level 3 risk exists off to our west. Heading into Saturday, then, that level 3 risk is for our area. And that is early Saturday morning into Saturday afternoon for us in our WCBI viewing area. Something we'll be watching moving forth. I hate to be the bearer of bad news. There is more storms behind this system. Next week, another system coming on through. The two together could bring 3 to 6 inches of rain, which is concerning for flood-prone areas. Look at Futurecast through next Wednesday. A bit soggy over the next 7 days here. The good news is we get a little bit of a break on Sunday. Not enough, though. We have to watch for some patches of showers and storms Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. It's a very active forecast moving forward.
Is there such a meteorological term as storm fatigue?
I got it.
So do I.
Yeah, I think lots of folks do. But of course, you know, we keep you updated here on TV as well as on the WCBI mobile app.
All right.
All right, thanks, Jacob. Well, the Big Creek Water Association issues 2 boil water notices. A water line break feeding customers on County Road 309 has prompted a notice for customers in that area. The association is also advising customers on County Road 311 to boil their water as well.
ICC's basketball Madarius Hobson received state recognition for a special performance. More on the honor next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Tom Ebel is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Mississippi State men's basketball looking to bounce back after the weekend loss to 8th-ranked Auburn, taking on the Alabama Crimson Tide. The Bulldogs hoping to avoid back-to-back seasons of 0-2 starts in SEC play. We've currently entered a TV timeout in the first half. Alabama leading Mississippi State 18-12. The Bulldogs starting off 2 of 12 for shooting from the field. They're now up to 4 of 14. Alabama red hot so far, 50% shooting, 3 of 6 from the land of plenty. So the Bulldogs 9-4, 0-1 in the SEC. We'll have highlights and a recap coming up at 10 right here on WCBI Sports. Ole Miss softball officially reports to practice for the 2020 season, but will be doing so without one of its most successful coaches, Mike Smith. Smith was suspended last November before officially resigning in December. Interim head coach Ruben Felix will look to lead the Rebels to its 5th straight NCAA tournament appearance and says his team's maturity will get them there.
You know, obviously change is always not easy for everybody, especially young athletes. But I think they're mature enough to understand that we still have a job to do, and we're still here to do that job. And we're here now, so we got to pick up the pieces and move forward.
I'm just excited to see what the future holds, especially with Coach Felix being coach now. I mean, he's always been with us. He's been with me since my freshman year. He recruited me, so I'm just ready to see what we do and how we're going to move forward for the spring. Just excited about the future.
Ole Miss softball season begins February 7th in Clearwater, Florida for the NFCA Division I leadoff tournament. Preseason polls for the upcoming college baseball season continue to pile up. The Bulldogs and Rebels reaching the top 20 in a newly released poll. Perfect Game releasing its preseason top 25. Louisville, Vanderbilt, Texas Tech, Arkansas, and Arizona State making up the top 5 for the poll. Mississippi State tabbed as the 8th best team in the country heading into 2020. 5 SEC teams listed in the top 10. The rest, Ole Miss tabbed as the 18th best team in the country according to Perfect Game for the preseason. Florida, LSU, and Texas A&M rounding out the 9 SEC teams listed in the preseason top 25 poll. Ole Miss women's basketball guard Valerie Nesbitt is no longer with the Rebels basketball program. The Oxford Eagle was the first to report. Head coach Yolette McPhee-McEwen telling the Eagle the dismissal coming from, quote, actions that didn't reflect the way I want to run a program, end quote. Nesbitt was considered one of the top JUCO point guards in the country when she signed with the Rebels in 2019 and was the second leading scorer for the team this year, averaging 11.3 points per game. Holga native Madarius Hobson named the Mississippi JUCO Player of the Week for his triple-double performance against Volunteer State. Hobson scoring 14 points along with 10 rebounds and 10 assists. A true stat book stuffing performance. The sophomore leads the Indians in scoring with 15 points per game. So a big Thursday of JUCO hoops for Mississippi. Hey, we're finally into conference and division play for the Mississippi JUCO squads. ICC Northeast, the big area matchup for us. EMCC taking on Holmes. Just some other big area matchups as well. Just a quick update, 20-14, Alabama leads Mississippi State. Games on SEC Network. You can check it out at 10.
All right.
And just because everybody else is talking about it, coach check.
Still no.
Nothing.
Still
Okay.
not one.
Still nothing.
Still no.
All right. We'll be right back.
There's cake being served in Tupelo tonight, and I'm not there. Visitors around the nation and the world are there to celebrate what would have been Elvis Presley's 85th birthday at the place that it all began back in 1935. The 2-room shotgun house where Elvis was born was the site for a party fit for the king of rock and roll.
That's right. Guests were treated to pink and black cupcakes. Many, you are so sad, aren't you? Many also visited Graceland for a birthday celebration before coming to the singer's birthplace.
It's an honor and emotional and a privilege to be here. And I think everybody needs to know where it started from to where before they know where it led.
the younger generations don't understand what it was like in the 30s and 40s. And so it's hard for them to understand being poor or not having anything. And yet those people are the ones that love him and respect him, and they love his music, everything about him.
The celebration continues this evening with a concert by Taylor Rodriguez, the winner of both the Tupelo and Memphis Ultimate Elvis Tribute Artist competitions in 2018.
Tell you what, everyone loves Elvis. Nobody likes the weatherman. All we talk about is rain and storms this time of year, right?
It's been a lot.
It is. Of course, we'll keep you updated with the chance for severe weather through the next couple of days.
And we love you, by the way.
Okay,
we
thank
do.
you. I appreciate it.
Have a good night, everyone.